Jason in our office to get things done around here. And the go-to guy for all the parts of command. So ask him, let him do his presentation, ask him questions, and learn something. One nugget. Learn a nugget and put it into practice today. Okay? All right. Take care, guys.
Thank you. That was a very nice introduction. Yeah, so today I'm going to be going over the basics of KW Command. So for the few of you new people, it's probably going to be a lot of new information that I'm going to be going over. You probably see for the first time, and then for the rest of you guys that have already been in command, maybe this will serve as a refresher for some of the things. And then same with everyone over on Zoom. Mute everyone. I'm going to mute everyone in Zoom. Okay. Accidentally muted myself there too. Alright, so I'm going to have everyone muted on Zoom just so that we can get going here and get everything underway. Alright, so who has already logged into command at least once before? Marvin, I'm getting a no.
Don't even know my password.
Gotcha.
Oh, well, yeah.
Only Irma does.
Hold it hostage.
Well, this is your starting point right up here. Let me see if I can zoom in.
Why are you here, Marvin? Especially without a computer, since that just died.
So is this gonna be just like basics then? I thought it was gonna be more like for the marketing and stuff.
Just the basics. So I'm going to go over just like the high points or at high level, and then this sets up for the rest of the classes that I'll be offering. For now, it'll be every Wednesday, 11 a.m., same time. Next week, I'll be going over Smart Plans specifically. The week after that, I'll be going over some of the design stuff. I think I have second week of November, I'll have my ads class, so a little bit on the ads in KW Command and how to set those up. But just keep an eye out on the office calendar. If you guys don't know where that is, I'll show you where to find that. But we'll have all my classes there scheduled out. All right, so agent.kw.com is the website that you're going to go to log in. And you're gonna have your username and password. If any of you need help, Marvin, finding that or resetting it,
Only if Irma goes to EXP.
Oh, hell.
Go ahead and let me know, let us know, and we can help you reset that. All right, so here is command. We can log right in. All right, so here we are on the main screen, and you're going to see a number of things available on the main screen. First thing you're probably going to see are things like your tasks, which if you have those set up, you'll see them here as they come up. Here's an example of one that I set up earlier, which is nice because they show up right on the top of the screen. So if you make it a habit to log in to command every morning or every day, that's one of the first things you'll see if you have no other way of keeping track of your tasks. New updates in design. So this will be not the class next week, but the week after. I'm going to cover specifically what you can do in the designs tool in command if you guys haven't been in there already. So this shows you some of the newest designs up in that corner. Goals. This is a pretty good one here. You can actually go through this tool here if you haven't already, and set up your goals for the current year. And if you have them set up, it'll actually keep track as you gain leads, as you make appointments, as you put transactions or opportunities into, under contract, and then those that you close out. It'll actually keep track of all of those and give you a percentage versus your goal for the year. And ultimately, be able to give you a breakdown of the commissions of the GCI that you want to make for that year. Pretty helpful tool. Now, I don't have anything here, but if you click on goals, it'll bring you to the goals tool, which is also, if you look down here on the left side of the screen, it's the one called reports. You can get into it this way. And we're under goals, and if you don't have any set, you can go to you can see this option right here, set them now, and it'll take you through a little step-by-step guide on like, okay, well, how much GCI do you want to make for the year, and it'll help you break down like, okay, this is this much per month that you need to be making, and then after that it breaks down into like how many listings and buyers that you need to get for to actually meet these goals. So it's set up on this screen, and yes.
It said profit track. Does that mean there's a place to keep track of your expenses?
Profit tracker, yeah,
Profit
so
tracker.
this is, you can see it based, it might be hard to see, but based on opportunities. So as you're setting up the opportunities you're already working with anyway to, for compliance and so on, as those get closed out, it'll keep track of that here. So you'll be able to see that on this page. So it's pretty handy tool. And actually, there's more to this as you scroll down. Break down, how many emails you've sent out. Your goal conversion rates and your breakdown and all this stuff. And that'll detail that all there. Now, it'd be nice if I had something in there to show. I did set up my goals earlier, but without any production, it's not going to be that effective. So, just an idea of what you see with that goal screen.
So if we have production, should it be in here, or you have to set it up first?
So I think you probably have to set up the goals first before it starts tracking that versus your actuals. So as you actually close out your transactions. So there has to be that starting point there first. With that. And then kind of just like the last thing down here on the main screen is your database health. So this is kind of like a very helpful tool at a high level to show you how many contacts you have entered in command, how many of those have phone numbers, email addresses, home addresses, and neighborhoods set up. It's really nice to be able to see that all on one screen because it gives you an idea of, okay, I have all these contacts that have phone numbers, that have email addresses, but half of them don't have actual addresses, and therefore don't have any neighborhoods set up. And these are very important due to some of the smart plans that you can set up for these contacts is being able to have the addresses and neighborhoods set up for them is required for that. And so this gives you an idea of what your database is looking like. And any recent leads. So if you run Facebook ads, for example, like the Facebook ads that I've been running for a few of the agents here, as those are running in the background, the leads that come back, it'll show you an overview of those here as they come in. So that is a little bit on the main screen there. Let me show you guys.
I have a question.
Yes.
Sorry. So I have some people in there.
Mm-hmm.
What is this?
What does it say?
It says 23 days ago, just when I inputted the information, 23 days ago, 124 days ago, 151 days ago,
Yeah, so that's likely when you had put them in and there was a change to their details page. So that's how Command keeps track of, and I'll show you guys that in just a second too.
Thank you.
On how Command is able to keep track of, or at least show you, like how long ago you had contacted someone, or there was a change to their information. Alright, so, let me show you guys your settings page in Command. That you find, and by the way, I'm recording all this too, so I'll make this I'll be able to make this available later on. And so, if I click here, I'm at the top right corner of the screen where my name is, and I go down to settings. And here is where a lot of the setup of DocuSign, connecting your Facebook account, syncing Gmail, that's all done from this page here. So one of the more important ones here, especially for your opportunities, is going to be DocuSign, which for maybe some of you guys that don't know, you're newer agents, you do get access to a free DocuSign account through Keller Williams. So, it's got all the full features. It lets you send as many documents to get e-signed, DocuSign from there. And that's all set up from this main screen here. And I already have, yeah.
Do you, because I always have to create a folder in order to be able to do a DocuSign. Is there a way to go in there just to get one item DocuSign that you don't have a file for?
Yeah. So if you have the, your login and password for the DocuSign account that you created, you could just go to, just DocuSign.com and log in. Using the same exact email and password, and it'll log you into the DocuSign website, and then from there you can just send off just one thing to get DocuSign right from there, as opposed to going through Command and then setting up the
Yeah.
room and then doing it that way. You can just go direct from DocuSign.
Do you use this email for the Keller Williams or which email?
So if it was set up, for you guys already, for some of you newer people, you're gonna find that on the settings screen here in Command. So it shows you here. Oh, this is what it was set to. So like this is my account. This is my email address that my DocuSign is connected to, and then whatever that password may be.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'll see that here. And if you have any, and there's a way to reset the password and stuff from DocuSign if you need to get into that. All right. So it's kind of like the one of the big ones there is DocuSign. You can also connect and your Facebook account to be able to run ads. As well as to be able to make posts to Facebook from within Command. That also requires the Facebook setup as well, which is done here. So if you guys don't have it set up, it'll say, it'll have like a connect button instead of what you can see here. Same applies to Twitter. If you have an account you want to do Twitter posts through Command, that's done here as well. And kind of one of the bigger ones here, and I'll go into details in next week's class on smart plans, because this has to do with smart plans, but setting up Twilio. And Twilio is the texting service that you have available through Command. This is where you would set that up if you haven't set it up already. And you'll see that here, like for example, I'm not set up with this, so it'll say not subscribed. But I can set this up if I go through this button right here, subscribe to the marketplace. It'll take me to like a pricing and plan screen where it shows me, okay, like for like $5 a month, I get this many credits. I think it's like 300. The credits means that's how many messages or texts that you can send through Twilio. And it goes on from there, as many as you need. They have different pricing. And what's nice about those two is they roll over every month.
Oh,
So if you don't, like if you buy the $300 message one, and you don't use all 300 of those credits for that month, it'll go over to the next one, and it'll kind of build up from there.
what's recommended? What do you think, like, I mean, is it easy to get up to 300, or is it like, what is the?
It depends entirely on how many contacts you have and how many messages you're sending out just
In a
individually
month.
or through your smart plans that you set up. It would vary. It would vary, but on that. Mostly due to basically how many contacts you have and how many you expect to send out. But I'll go into more detail about, because that has to do with smart plans.
Okay.
More on smart plans
Thank you.
next week. So this is a little bit on the setup page here in Command. Now let me go over to,
We don't have to have Twilio in order to send messages to people, though. Oh, that's only text messages.
text messages through Command.
Through
Through command, right.
All right, here, so let me dig into the contacts here. So that is the second option on the left corner or left side of the screen here, in contacts. And this is where all of your contacts will be saved. This is where you should put in all your contacts. And it's as easy as to set up a new contact, just going up to the Add Contact button here on the top right corner. And it's just a matter of putting in their full name, and it gives you different areas here to fill in. So email address, phone number. You can select here where the lead source was from. So, and it's got many different options here of where you can select where you got this contact from. So if it was from door knocking, you can select that. And it's just more information that you're able to save in Command for each individual contact. You can mark it as a lead, so just kind of show it prioritizes the contact for you. So let me show you a quick test here. That's the email address, phone number is there. Here's a big portion of Command, if you guys don't know, that's tagging. So what tagging is, it's a way to group your contacts, using a specific tag. So if this is a lead, for example, or someone that I met from door knocking, I can look down the list here and see if any of those tags apply to this one contact. And as I scroll along, you guys probably see there's a whole bunch of different ones that I have here with different colors and such. These are custom tags that I made because they weren't already there. And it's as easy as just typing out the whatever you want the lead to be called or the tag to be called. And if it already exists, you see here, so door knocking, for example. Okay, so I don't have that. Door knocking. I can just type it in, click on Create Custom Tag, and then even give it a color, and then click on Add. So that now, one, this tag has now been added to this contact, which is what I want. And two, it's now just saved in there for the future. So if I get any future contacts that I get, that I also want to apply this tag to, it's now going to be found here on the list. So I can just click on it. I don't have to remake it again.
How did you create the custom tag? I missed that.
So I just typed it out.
Okay.
So if it doesn't already exist in the list, you just type it out and then
Oh,
click on
okay.
create.
Okay.
Otherwise, if it's already there, it'll just pop up in the list, so you don't have to make it again.
Curious what the tags do for you. What is the purpose of tags?
It's organization, so you're able to search for contacts based off of these tags, in the future. So if you wanna know, okay, well, let me find all the contacts that I met, that I have labeled as door knocking, or from door knocking, or from lead generation, or from, you know, what have you, open houses.
So this is for searches later, or?
Yeah, that's for searches, it's for, because it's gonna help you, because while you can search for contacts by name, it might help you further if you do name and then you can search for a tag or
Like
just search
past
for-
clients?
Yeah, past clients, you know,
Sphere of
that could be
influence.
sphere of influence, yeah, any of those things. Or, you know, if you're searching for agents that you have, you know, saved on here, again, it's just whatever you have here available, whatever doesn't exist, you can create, and it's gonna help you organize these contacts, later on, people to search for them.
Agents you'll never do business with again.
If you do that, you could also,
I have a long list.
you could also remove all the contacts that you don't want off of your contacts list as well. You
Don't
can-
work with.
Yeah, don't work with, and then get them out of there.
Don't accept
If you
offers
archive
from.
any, can you go back and try to get a list of the archived ones?
The contacts? Yes, so so in order to delete a contact in command, it lets you archive it first. So archive it, will get it off of your main screen, here, and it'll put it on an archive page where it's not deleted permanently at that point. You can go back into the archive page and see what contacts you have in there. And then you can delete those permanently afterwards, so it's kind of like this middle step. So you don't accidentally delete something that's gone forever. So there is a way you can pull that up. Okay, so I got my contact here started, I have my tag set up. I'm gonna click on add more information. And under additional contact information, which is here, is where you'll be able to put in their home address. And I'll go into, again, go into more detail about why this is important next week. But if you have their home address, you know, just make that a top priority, because again, it's gonna help you set up, set up certain smart plans, later on. So you have that, this is where you enter it in. And then you can click on, about has some additional areas that you can fill out. So a description, or, you know, about this person, if you have their birthday, home anniversary, you can enter all of this in. And by the way, birthdays and home anniversaries, again, good for smart plans. So if you have that, it's just one additional feature that you have through command. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and create this one. And then sometimes you might have to refresh your page or reload it. And there we go. So here's my new contact. I did mark them as lead, so you can see what that looks like. Just helps kind of separate them from your list a little bit. And then here's that tag. Oh, and by the way, you're not limited to just one tag that you can put in there. You can put in as many as you want. So if it's door knocking, meta open house, past client, future seller, what have you, you can apply as many as you want to a single contact. And again, it will further help you be able to search for these in the future if you need to.
Can you import contacts from an Excel spreadsheet?
You can, yes, and it's always a little bit of a different process each time depending on what the state of your list is. Because Command has a very specific way that contacts have to be imported. So if you have a long list that you got from somewhere else that you've already been working on, that can be imported, but you know, with a few caveats. So to do that, you would have to click on the import button here next to Add Contact. And then you're gonna click here to download the pre-made CSV. CSV is the name of the file to the import. So I'm gonna click download, and it's not obvious, but you can click on that. And what it does is it saves a file that looks like this to your computer. And it'll look like that. And you are gonna need Excel or a program like Excel to be able to open the second file. You can also do this with Google Sheets. If you guys use Google Sheets, you can bring this file into Google Sheets so you can work on it. But the order and layout of this file is how the contacts have to be put in here in order to be imported back into Command. So everything that's spread out here first, and it goes from left to right. So by first names, and I would start here on line 3 and move downwards. You do not want to delete or move anything from these top 2 rows. They do have to stay as they're labeled. And it kind of goes on from here. First names, middle names, last names, birthdays, all of the different categories in Command already that you would put in, you would enter in information for. They're all here. So address, and it kind of goes on from here all the way to the right. Mailing address, labels. You can also apply tags directly from here. Where was it? Oh, right here, under custom tags. So you can, depending if this is a list from from a farm or something like that, you can apply the same tag from the top down to all the contacts you'll be bringing in, and it'll automatically, once it brings those names and numbers in, it'll also tag them exactly what you had set up. And there's plenty of things here, but so yes, it is possible to import, but it does take a few,
Is this for importing?
Yeah.
This right here, because I can't find it. So I need you.
Importing, and again, that was from the main screen here when I clicked on the import button, and then I clicked download to save that file. All right, so here is,
I'm so
this is
sorry,
the
excuse me.
contact-
Is there a reason why mine looked like that?
It's probably, due to the program that you have, it might not be able to open up that file. You do need Excel or
Gotcha.
or bring it into Google Sheets in order to get it to show like I had it there for a second.
Thank you.
Hmm? Okay, so we've got all of this here. If you ever need to export all your contacts from Command to that same kind of file, you can do that as well. That's this button here on the corner. You can click on that, and it's gonna be the top option, export all owned contacts. And what that'll do is, tell you, it'll give you a little notification, hey, the file's being worked on. And as soon as that's ready to download, you're gonna find that here under the notifications. And it'll say here, your full contacts export is complete, tap to download. And again, just like I downloaded that import file, is how I can download a copy of all of the contacts here in Command. So you can see here exactly how I put them in and have their information set in Command. It pulls them out in basically the same file, the same looking file. So that's how you guys can pull out those contacts.
So that's if you have the Excel.
Yeah, that's if you have, well, to open it like I just did there,
Right.
after you download it.
So say one popped up, my, one of my last transactions, there's nowhere to, is there any way that we can put the information that's in here? Because it looks like information is there regarding that client that I have not put in. So did that come from compliance or?
I'm not,
That was a
I'm
message,
not
yeah,
sure.
that somebody
That was a
sent you.
compliance?
Yeah, from compliance.
Ah,
You can just hit dismiss and then it's gone.
oh, okay.
Which, by the way, in order to actually start a new file for compliance, you do have to enter that contact in first.
Okay.
So to create, add a contact, their name, email address, and so on, in order for you to be able to later start an opportunity for them. This is your starting point here.
Before you move to the next one, for the export, where it says export mailing labels, CSV, which would be like a cell. Does that mean that you can export all the information onto the file so you can print labels?
Yeah, so so what Clara's talking about is these two options below where I had exported my contacts. This will pull out all the contacts you have, that, let me actually show it on here, so that you're able to create, like mailing labels with. So,
Now, the one that says PDF, how would that print?
okay, so I'm gonna open it up here. Alright, so it'll look like this.
For the labels on through CSV or Excel?
For, well, it'll give you both options. For I clicked on PDF, but if you had chosen CSV, it'll open up in a similar way. And I do have to say, it'll only export the contacts that have an address tied to them as well. It's not gonna pull out, if you have 1,000 contacts and half of them don't have mailing addresses, but the rest do, it'll only pull out the ones that do. It won't include the ones that don't.
And that is the primary address.
And it'll be, yeah, the primary address that you'd be setting there. I don't know exactly what size labels this would be, but it'd probably be like a 2 by 3 inch label maybe, or like a 1 by 3 inch label, which, you would be able to use this file to print those labels on. Alrighty. Okay, so let's move on to,
One more thing, I'm sorry. So what about the contacts that you have in your phone? Are you able to export the contacts in your phone into,
there is, but, and there's different ways to do that. Ultimately, what you need is an app that lets you take all your contacts and save them to a CSV. And what I've done is in the past, there's been many different ones out there for, iPhones and Android. So I can't really recommend a specific app, but it has to be an app that lets you download. So you could probably search for like a contacts to Excel, kind of an app, or contacts, or export contacts app.
Should we save that for an appointment?
Because that will, ultimately pull out everything in your phone. And if you didn't have, everything organized that well, is exactly how you save their name, their phone number, all their contact information. It's gonna spit it out on one file, and you do have to go through that file and clean it up basically, and bring in everything from it into the import template. So it's possible, but I can tell you guys right now, it's a lot of work to be able to do that.
So the best thing is just to take one by one and just,
If you have a lot and you don't know the state of them, how organized they were coming from your phone, that might be the best approach, is to go one by one. Because then at least okay, I don't need to bring this one in, I can leave these out, and so on. Easier to do if you don't have too many contacts, but if you have a lot, well then you're gonna be there a while. to-
okay, thank you.
With those, okay, so let me show you guys, if you guys didn't know, you do have a referrals tool, here in Command. And it's very useful if you ever need to find or locate an agent in another state, in another city, for referral purposes. This is what this tool is good for. So what you can see here is the dashboard in my referrals page. These are the different contacts that I've added to my referral network. So agents that I've searched for and added them to my network here, which in a way would just help me find them later in the future. If I ever need to contact again or send them another referral, this is what you're seeing here. Now, in order to get to this page or get to some of these network partners, I would go to the map, which is the third option here, kind of at the top. And it's gonna pull up a map of the country. What I like to do is you have different search options here. By default, it will show you for production. I like to do market centers because then it'll just right off the bat show me where the various offices are across the map. Now, in order to get any real use out of this, you do have to zoom in, and you can do that with your mouse on your computer or with the little plus and minus buttons here on the side. But in order to be able to zoom into the area and be able to see what offices are available. Now, I can do it this way by just like clicking around the map and dragging it, or I can just search up here once I have it set to market centers to the city that I'm looking at, for example, so Sacramento. And what that'll do is it'll focus the map to that city that you had searched for, and it'll pull up the various offices and their location on the map. So you'll see that here. So if you're looking for a referral partner in the Sacramento area, this would be the way to do it. On the right-hand side of the screen, you're gonna see a bunch of names pop up here, and by default, it'll be random. It'll be a random order, so it won't be it won't have a preference here to what names or what agents come up first, but you can sort it here based off of a few different options. So for example, closed, we'll do closed units. What that'll do is it'll take the agent that had the most closed units for the last year and place them up near the top, versus, those that don't, so it'll be from the top to the bottom. And you do have the options for listing sold, buy sides, or leases, depending on what you are, who you're looking for. And if I zoom in even more, so let's say this is close to the area that I, for the client that I have. If I zoom in more, it'll cut down the number of results on the page here. So if I zoom back out,
Can you do like a radial search?
you'll notice more and more names pop up because I now have more offices in view. So if I want to break that down more specifically, I can just zoom in to the area and it'll only show the agents from this office that pop up here on the list. Radial search, so just like being able to,
The way you do on the MLS, you just create a circle, spread it out over the area, geographical area you want, and select agents from that.
it won't do that. You do have to like move the map around and zoom in and out to be able to,
No, it would be nice if they, if you could assign like neighborhoods, or like agents can assign themselves neighborhoods, that way you can know like, okay, this agent specializes in this neighborhood, so I might go with this agent.
yeah.
It would be nice if they did it.
And you may be able to see that information depending on,
The agent,
the agent. And as you can see here, I kind of just clicked on open this one up a little bit. And it broke down, it's able to break down here, closed units, listings sold and all that, again, for like the last 12 months. And if I click on that person's name, then it'll take me to their info page. So phone number, and something that's missing here, and I don't know if they just don't have it, but a biography. A biography of them, of what they do, will be shown here. So that might be a good place if they, to detail out where their service areas are and, what they specialize in. You might see that here depending on that agent. And that's all done from the screen, so, and all the results kind of go on from here. And again, you can click on open each one, see, if they're part of a team, their contact information, and their stats. You'll be able to see all that from here. Now, I want to take someone from here and add them to that network, or that screen I showed at the very beginning. That's going to be this button right here. Would you like to send an invitation? Send an invitation to this person. That's just asking them to, if you want to add them to your network, so that they'll be on the main screen. And the same could be done on the flip side. If someone else from Keller Williams searched this area here in the AV, found our list of agents, and pick you from the list, you'll probably see an email that looks like this saying, you've got a new network invitation or request, and then you'll be able to ultimately find that here on the main page, where it'll be easier to access these people in the future. All right.
What was the next button next to the app?
Um,
The one that was pointing up?
oh, this one?
Yeah.
So this is to send, and thank you for mentioning, this is actually to send a referral request directly to this person.
Oh.
Which, again, it'll show you the person here that you selected. Here's the type of referral that you can select. The referral fee, which is adjustable here. An acceptance deadline, so how long do they have to accept the referral before, you know, you move on and try to send it to someone else. You can adjust that here. The pricing information for the client that you're referring to them will be found here. Any notes that you want to include will be found here as well, or you can put that in. And then right here it tells you the highlighted message will be kept confidential until this referral is accepted. So you can include your client's information here, and you could also search from it from your list of contacts if they're already in there. And only if they accept this referral will they be able to see that information, and not, you know, you're just sending it blindly before they, before they even accept it. Which is nice, and it, you know, it's got everything here. If they're pre-approved, pre-qualified, their address, their desired location, and the rest of the information here before it gets sent out. And if I were to fill that out and send it, Parm Atwell in that Sacramento office will get that directly, and she'll see the deadline, and if she accepts it, then she'll get that information here. So that's done from there. And and if you have a good transaction with them, a good deal, then you can add them to your network. And again, they'll be out here on the main screen where you'll be able to access them in the future a lot faster. So I can just send the referral directly from here instead of going through the map again, searching for them, finding them, clicking that button. I can just do it from here if I want to in the future.
So basically, when they send the referral, it will come to your email, or you have to be on a command?
You'll get it sent to your email, or you'll get an email saying you have a new referral. And on there, I don't remember exactly, but I think it has you click on a link. Well, then it'll open up in command, and I think it'll show you the rest of that information. So
Okay.
if you accept it, then it'll take you to the information with that client's information. All right, and let me just touch on opportunities here for a moment. So that's the button here in the middle for opportunity here in the middle of the screen. This is where your transaction is started. So for probably most of you that already have had deals done through the office or are TCs for other agents, you probably already work with this screen a lot. But this is where you get all of that started. You're going to, so you have two views here. You can see your transactions as they go along, if they're a listing or for a buyer. You'll be able to see that here. And if you use this system here at in depth, this screen is able to show you at a high level, okay, I have this many opportunities in the appointment phase, or I have this many inactive, I have these many closed. And what's nice about this is based off of the information you have in those opportunities as far as the commission and like the volume, it's able to break that down on this screen here on this side of the page for your potential income and probable income as this goes along, which at a high level again might be very useful, because then you'll know kind of what numbers you're expecting, you can expect once all those deals close, and maybe give you a better idea of what you're working with there. That's this view here. I can switch it to all opportunities if you need to see a whole list of all the ones you've ever worked on or the ones you're working on. This will help you find those easier as you get those set up. Be on the lookout for any future classes from Audrey, as she is the new compliance manager that's taken over. She will be offering those, I think, fairly soon. We'll be able to give you more information about the whole process on opportunities and compliance and how all that works. I know she gave you guys a little bit of information at the beginning, but just keep an eye out for all that as it comes along. All right, so I just I have a few minutes left here, and this is kind of where I'm going to segue into my services here. I've been working a lot with, and if you guys don't know, we have started a new service here in this office called KW Your Way. It is basically a way you can leverage me to do a lot of tasks and things through command and through other ways as well. One thing that I've been doing a lot is setting up Facebook ads for agents and one of the agent teams here as well, where for a cost, you're able to have me send create an ad for you, depending on if it's for a listing or for seeking buyers or for open houses. It kind of varies, and there's different options when it comes to that. And the nice thing is I take care of the wording and how the ad is set up, the targeting and all that, and in return you get all the leads redirected back to you here in command. So it makes it nice and easy as that ad is going along, capturing leads and ultimately bringing them back into command. That is like one of the things I'm offering. And pull this up here. Here's an example of one that I ran a little bit ago for Becky. This is for a listing that she had in Roseman. This ad had a $25 budget, so that's the maximum amount of money that the ad had to work with. And in that time, 10 days, it received over 3,000 impressions, so that is how many times it popped up on people's Facebook feeds. This also works with Instagram as well, so the same thing, it works on the two platforms. And this one actually did really well for about 40 cents per lead. That broke down to 63 leads in total that it got, and again, it went back directly to her in her command account, where she was able to see those names and numbers, go back through and contact them, and kind of start from there. So that is, and that's one thing that I am able to set up. Landing pages, these are pretty quick to set up, but I include these with every ad that I run because it's ultimately when the person clicks on that ad, they should be taken to something that they can look at. This is something that I include with there as well. Just a quick landing page if it's for that listing, and be able to show them, the information afterwards. So they click on it, you get their information, and in return, they receive this landing page with the information that they were looking for. So,
Mike,
yeah.
Do you get more people that sign up with the landing page rather than the actual Facebook? On Facebook, if you click or whatever, it'll have the information there. There's two ways you can redirect them, either use through Facebook or through the landing page. Have you noticed you've gotten more through the landing page, more leads?
So what I do is I use the Facebook form.
Okay.
Which, as you're setting up an ad, it's the recommended options, the one that I always use.
Okay.
Because it even if you set up the landing page separately, which is what I always do,
Okay.
you'll still get the information from that contact.
Okay.
As opposed to if you select the landing page option, well then, they click on it,
And then they have to, like,
and then they have to manually go through the page, go through the form, fill it out, so that you get their information.
Mhm.
I use the Facebook form instead of that, it goes, directly, whether I include the landing page or not, which is really nice. I am also able to do things like this where, if you want to just create a quick flyer for a listing that you have, or for an open house, for any other events, for something you just sold, I'm able to, able to create something like that for you, print it out on nice paper, give you the social media graphic that you can post on your own social media. And then I'm also able to post that through KW Euroway as well. It's a network that I'm building through Facebook and Instagram as well, which ultimately will be able to give you more exposure to the content that you want to share. Here's another one here too, and Monica will recognize this. Email signatures. So if you guys don't have a signature on your emails, or want something nice to include with your emails, kind of at the bottom, I can set you up with something, custom, and be able to put it into your emails to, to always be there and just have a nice little, addition
That's cute.
to your emails as they go out. Another thing as well is to add to the exposure to your things. I'm able to send out like office blasts for again for your open houses, for your listings, and I can do to just KW if you just want it here internally. And additionally, I'm also able to send this out to all of GABAR, all of SRAR, Tehachapi High Desert, basically all of the MLSs in California, be able to, create something for you. So if it's for your listing, I can make basically something that looks like this just listed announcement, and be able to send it out to all of these MLSs, depending on which ones you want to reach.
It goes via email or?
Yeah, it gets emailed out to them. You guys, depending on, because this goes through a third-party service called Property Blast. Some of you may already receive those, depending on if you're still subscribed to their emails. But the way it works is the service, it kind of actively grabs every new agent that joins those MLSs and, kind of their own database. And then, we're able to create something that to be able to send out to them. You can pick and choose which MLSs you want to target. One of the big ones I've been doing lately is been sending out stuff to SRAR, which again is just further exposure, just further can get leverage that for me that you can use to send out your items.
And now in regards to Facebook, how wide is the range of exposure there? Like with the MLSs, that covers a huge range. How can we guesstimate the range for the Facebook ad?
So that's ultimately down to the the starting location. So if the listing is here in Palmdale, it'll default to the Palmdale location or city, and you can do a maximum of 50 miles of range, and then you further expand that based off of the targeting that you select as well. In Command, it's got the ability to pick and choose the different interests for the types of clients that you're trying to reach out for. Reach out to for the listing, if you're doing a listing, for example.
That's for paid ads.
Yeah, for the paid ads.
But you can also share your page to, or you can share your ad to groups. You guys should be adding dozens and dozens of groups in Facebook that relate to real estate, even if they're out of area groups.
So that's, yeah, you could do that as well, that's, you know, but that's within Facebook itself.
That's free.
Yeah, which, you know, it's just additional,
Right.
additional exposure.
Mike,
Yes.
how much is the fee for the email blast?
So for an email blast, I have two options. If you already have something made, so you already have a graphic that you got from somewhere else, you made yourself, it's only $15. You only need to send that to the office, and that's one time. Or if you don't have anything made, and I'll make a flyer, I'll make a graphic, and then send it, that's $30. So the flyer plus the cost of sending it out.
So if I'm going to do, for example, if I were to do an open house, and I wanted to send it to the agents at the SRAR, that can be done. If I have the picture of the property and, in other words, the information on the property,
Yeah.
that can be sent out through.
Mhm. Yeah, that could be sent out too, as well. And all of that information, as far as the services that I currently offer and the pricing, is on kwyourway.net. Let me break out of here for a second. Won't keep you guys too much longer, but this is the website that I have set up here, kwyourway.net. You can go over to our services, and then you can see just a sample of the various things that I have here to offer in pricing. Another thing I can offer as well is if you want to have me upload an MLS or a listing into the MLS for you, as far as, you know, setting up all the information, the marketing remarks, adding the photos in there, setting up the video. If you know, once you have photos and videos, that's also something I can offer as well. So again, just more leverage, more things that I'm able to offer to you guys. And if you have any suggestions, if you have something that maybe I don't offer yet on the website, come and see me, and there may be something I'll be able to offer in the future.
What's the cost for the whole package?
Cost of the whole package, so that is inputting the MLS, creating all the flyers, I can do postcards as well. All of that I can do for $400.
Per?
Okay, guys, so let me pass out some cards here.
And if it's already in the MLS?
Oh, then I can take it from there.
I mean, that $400, that doesn't include photography or any of that stuff, right?
No, that would be, that's separate. There you guys.
And for the signature, how much is that?
I do that for 30,
Okay.
and it's just a one-time, one time.
You only need it once, right?
Yeah, you only need it once it's set up, and then it's all set. All right, you guys, so next week, same time, Wednesday, I'll be going specifically into smart plans and when you're able to, you know, what you're able to do with those.
Great.
Thank you very much.
And this every week at 11, Wednesday at 11?
Wednesday at 11, yeah. That's right.
Thank you, Mike.
Good plan.